Monday evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Beach Duke 60 from RealAir, and this is St. Martin. And we're down here trying a little quick triangle. Small airports that we've done before. Hopefully it's going to work out a little bit better than last time. Last time we were here, I think we might have been actually in the King Air. And it didn't go so good down here at Wancho E. Rosquin Zaba. That's the super short runway that we have down there, but we're going to give it a try, like I say. Hopefully things will go a little better this time. We're in the Duke, so it's a little bit of a different flight dynamic, and glad to have you along. If you're new to the stream, if you're just stumbling upon this is the kind of stuff I like to do. We're going to be slant alpha today. We're going to be VFR today, and we're not exactly in, I would say, a bush plane per se, although this is a plane that's used off-road a little bit, off airport. But I like the bush flying. I like the vintage aircraft. I like the non-traditional kind of more old-school navigational techniques. And VFR is not exactly old school, but a lot of times I'll be flying radio navigation in this one. I learned a little bit from our good friend Slant Alpha this year, and we like to fly Slant Alpha as much as we can. Speaking of Slant Alpha, we're going to be keeping tabs on his channel as well, because he is down in this same area. He's coming up from, I believe, St. Martinique, which is down a little further to the southeast, and he'll be making that approach into St. Barth's just like we are, but we'll probably be back on the ground at St. Martin by the time he gets down there. If we have a chance, if we can time it right, we might try one extra landing into St. Barth's just to see if we can't sync up with his flight. But first things first, since last time I put this baby in the ocean, we don't want to assume anything, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Battery on, all of the other switches, levers are off, parking brake is set. Pump number 2 coming on. Ignition on. Starter on. We'll let this thing get up to 12%. Alright, that looks good. Ooh, that guy got bumped up there, nudged up there a little bit. We've got to kind of keep our eye on things. This is a little bit of a hot start. I have a little bit of a glitch in the start here because my throttle quadrant, I can't leave it on idle, because as soon as I move my throttle quadrant off of idle, it kills the engines. Okay, that's come back down. Good deal. That's not good on the engines, but it works to get us off the ground here. Turn that pump off. Pump number 1 coming on. Ignition coming on. Starter coming on. Hopefully this will be a little bit better start. Starting out here at idle. Yeah, much better there. Much better. Didn't realize that it bumped up on me there, like it did. That's okay. Prop levers can come full forward. Turn the gens on, turn the ignition to auto, inverters and avionics power can come on. We do have the GNS 750 loaded up. Don't necessarily plan on using this baby today, but I do have to get it to this point because I do have to be able to switch potentially here back and forth. And that's nice to have the
TOS system test okay.
Nice to have the redundancy in case we need to switch to GPS type of route. Alright, I've got everything loaded up. Flight plan is filed. We are due to depart here in about 3 minutes. We are filed for 1,500. There's no ATC right now anyway, but might be something later on. And let's just take a look at the conditions. 080 at 11, partly cloudy, scattered 1,700. We do have, let's see, 29er 9er 7. Put that in, and we'll get on our way. Alright, 29er 9er 7 is set. We are squawking VFR. Yep, 1200, that's in. We'll go mode Charlie on the V-Pilot. And I think we're ready to go. Runway 9er, or excuse me, 090, that's going to require an east departure, which runway 10 will be our boy, which is right up here. And a quick look around. We will go to Unicom. Super excited for the voice CTAF to be our way here very soon. Oh, I guess I already was. To be our way very soon. I really need to practice, and I'm looking forward to learning how to make the correct phraseology. But for now, we will stick with typing out our intentions. So St. Martin traffic, Duke 626 November, taxi runway 10, St. Martin. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the beacon going. We're going to get the taxi lights going. We're going to put our nav lights on. I do have some traffic here, so we'll kind of keep our I should need pitot heat. Actually, I'm only going 1,500. Kind of keep our eyes on here, just make sure we're not going to get in anybody's way. Oh, there it is, coming on in. Ah, very nice, very nice. Yeah, very cool, very cool. Airbus of some sort, perhaps? I couldn't quite tell. It's always a bit of a guessing game with my model matching, but it looked a little like an A320 possibly. Alright, we're ready to go. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And if you come along later on, thanks for watching. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, although we'll have a little bit of a change in our schedule this week due to an event, a GA event that I am pretty pumped about. Looking forward to it. Alright, our windsock is out there a ways. It's going to be a bit of a crosswind departure. I mean, runway 10 and winds of 090, but I think we're going to be in good shape. These are very, very short flights, by the way. We do need to make sure that big wide body gets off the runway before we get too carried away, which we will. Alright, oh, he's just kind of slewing his way over, so that makes that pretty easy. Oh boy, we kind of have a little bit of a high friction sort of glitch thing going on with this portion of the taxiway. I'm really having to give it quite a bit of power. Usually you can just idle this guy out and that's all the power you need. Now it's probably going to try to get away from me once I get out on this part of the runway, but every once in a while I'll run into a scenery issue like that where it almost simulates like you're on the turf or something, and it takes a little bit to get it rocking and rolling. Any beachgoers there needing some prop wash? Yep, there's a few. going to hold tight here. Might have made it past the hold short line, actually. I think we did. So let's make that call. NCM traffic. So St. Martin traffic, Duke 626 November. Takeoff runway 10, VFR eastbound at 1,500. Okay, flaps coming down. Landing lights can come on. Everything else looks good. Let's go flying. I think this is Fly Tampa scenery. All three of these airports are Fly Tampa. So we're going to be hanging a right. And we need roughly sorry about that. I had the Mrs. First Officer need me for a second. We're going to turn about 130. So we'll go ahead and just set that as a reference mark. We don't really have any VORs or anything that we're going to follow, so we're just going to use that just in case. Try to hand fly this most of the way. It's only a 17 knot leg, so we'll get there in a hurry. In fact, we'll try to keep our speed down just a little bit so we don't get too carried away. And I've been into St. Bart's and Zaba twice already, just not in the Duke. So let's see how she goes, how she handles it. There's rotation speed. We are up and away. Positive rate, gears coming up. Quick look outside. Oh yeah, that's nice. I don't know what happened to that A320 or 737, whatever it was, but it's gone now. So we'll make our turn, head out over the little bit of a harbor here, and right about there, almost right directly into the moon here. That's kind of cool. Bring the flaps up. Go ahead and bring the power back. There's the island. And there is 1,500. We'll try to get her trimmed out here. So like I said, I've been in here twice. Once with the Skylane. The last time I attempted it with the King Air 200. And I just thought that the Duke might be the perfect sort of compromise here, although we are way too fast. Don't need to be this fast. I like to keep it down. Actually, probably keep it down around really 160 would probably be okay. But let's just see here. So the Duke just a little smaller, obviously, than the King Air 200, and I'm hoping that that translates into. I honestly think I might have been just a little bit out of my league when I was trying to put the King Air down at Zaba. Just slid right off the end of the runway. This was okay. St. Bart's was okay. We managed to get it down without too much difficulty. Getting a little slow now, actually. Put some power back in, but yeah, the second leg was the leg that got us. I'm almost positive it was the King Air. I might have to actually go back and look. It's been one of the few flights that I have not watched again, just because yeah, it was a low light. So for those of you familiar with this area, remember that this approach is unique in that it has a little bit of a hillside that you actually have to navigate excuse me, down at the threshold. So you have to kind of nose down a little bit right before you touch down. Make our call here. See if we can. Let's see. I think it's runway 10 here at St. Barth's also. St. Bartholomew. Looking. Yeah, runway 10. Oh, hello, Slash French. How are you doing, sir? Welcome to the Caribbean. Happy Monday to you, my man. If you're like me, you've got one eyeball on the flight, you got one eye on the Monday Night Football game, and you probably have one eye on somebody else's Twitch stream. Glad to have you along. There's going to be two types of people that watch my stream tonight. One is the viewer that's hoping to see redemption, hoping that I can make up for my past failure when I flew these islands last time. And one is that person that goes to the NASCAR race just to see the crash. Oh, watching the election debate in Canada. Okay, very good, very good. Alright, so I need to get down to flap speed here because I think we're within, you know, I'd be making a call, St. Bart's traffic, Duke 626 November, 5 miles west, inbound runway 10, St. Bart's. Okay, we'll toss a notch of flaps in right there. And I always have the hardest time picking out my approach course here. Let me spin this around so I can get a little bit of a reference. That's my runway heading. Dip down below 1,500 feet, which is a little bit lower than what I would like. Speed is getting dangerously low here. Oh boy. Don't want to get too slow, too quick.
500.
Busy kind of gawking out the window trying to find your approach course here, and you can get in trouble in a hurry. We're going to go gear down, and I think I'm right, kind of right in this little notch here is where I'm trying to head. So I got to make sure that we probably just a bit low here, but that's okay. Don't want to be any slower. I'm going to toss a second notch of flaps here. So I'm full flaps, I'm geared down. At my kind of my lowest maneuvering speed here that I can be, or my lowest, I should say, maneuvering configuration. And let's see what happens here. Yeah, I think I'm right over the top of this hill. It's hard to see, I think I'm right in this area. Slash French is tossing up a YouTube video for me here. Probably a video of somebody that's doing this the correct way. And I'm going to be probably not completely lined up, but that's alright. Okay, I do have landing taxi lights are on. I never shut those off. We're going to be okay, I see the runway. I'd like to bring my speed back a little bit. I'd like to be at about 100 here if I can. Alright, you can see the hill. Not quite totally lined up, but
500.
also not too far away. There's my speed is good. I feel like my altitude's not too bad. And it's go time, folks. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, over the hill, nose down just a little bit. Flare it out. Reversers. And shoot, that wasn't half bad. Left my reversers on a little long. Boy, I think we might have to even look at that in replay mode. That wasn't too bad at all. Let's get turned around. We'll get off the runway. Actually, I think I'm going to save the replay mode for the very end, because what I've been finding is it's sort of been freezing up my sim a little bit. So, St. Bart's traffic, Duke 626 November, back taxi runway 28, St. Bart's. Well, heck, that's a good start. Slash French, you're going to think I know what I'm doing here if I keep doing that. You can see my skid marks though. Yeah, I was on the brakes a little bit early probably. I should have let the reversers do more of the work, but actually I don't know if those are my brake marks or not, but I'm sure I left a few. I definitely was on the brakes. Alright, let's come up here. If you don't know what the Fly Tampa scenery looks like, I'll just buzz you by the FBO here. Kind of take a look-see. Let's come taxi here. Let's go flaps back to approach. Kind of a neat little scenery. I mean, it's just one of those kind of fun to pick up. I don't know. It was a sale at one point in time, I'm sure. But you can see it's kind of cool. It's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Kind of hold on here for maybe one more view. Got that mountainside we have to go over the top of, and yeah, fun stuff. All right, well, that was the easy one of the two. So now we need to go down to Wancho Istraquin. I'm not saying that right. Zaba, Z-A-B-A, or TNCS, Tango November Charlie Sierra. That is a 27 nautical mile leg at approximately 249. Let's spin that guy around here and get ready to go. Be in that neighborhood like so. And let's see, this one has its runway. Again, this is the one that's known for the short runway. Why don't I have anything? It just says runway surface hard. I think this is a more north-south runway, if I'm not mistaken. Well, it's not even going to give me somewhere I had it written down, but alright, well, so be it. We'll figure it out when we get there. Let's give it a shot. Better make a call on Unicom here real quick, because I definitely would not be able to see if someone was coming over the hill. Alright, so there it is typed in. St. Bart's traffic, Duke 626 November. We're going to be departing runway 10 VFR to the southwest. Make right traffic 1500 St. Bart's. Well, we'll see, Slash French, if you think the same thing after you watch this next attempt. It's been a little while ago, but I slid right off the end of the runway, and I left a King Air 200 in the ocean. So alright, let's see here. Lights are armed, everything looks good there. Prop lever full forward, mixture full forward, flaps armed. I think we're ready to go flying. Probably should go full flaps here, but let's see. We can check my trim was a little bit up, but that's okay. Need 96 knots for rotation. There's 80. There's rotation. Yep. Oh, and you know what? I can't make left traffic. Wait, I said left traffic. Okay. Thought maybe I said right traffic. This one is a left-hand traffic pattern only departure. Gears up, by the way. Back off. Climb power. Flaps coming up. Spinner all the way around to about 250. See if we can pick up. There's St. Martin where we started. We will end there unless we see our friend Slant Alpha approaching St. Bart's. If we see Slant Alpha approaching St. Bart's, I'm going to try to make one more trip out here just so we can land, have a little bit of a landing competition. No, just kidding. Just see if we can keep him company. Climb through my 2,000 or my 1,500 here a little bit. All right, let's see. We'll start heading. There we go. I was going to say this is an island that you can fly to visually, and it's out there in the haze just a bit, but you can see what we're talking about. So I'm going to just put this thing at north and south, and I'm just totally going off of memory here, but feels like that's what it was. It's a little bit strange because you'd think most of these airports down here in this same area would essentially have the same type of configuration because the wind is going to be pretty consistent, right? But the problem with this particular airport is that it's built on the only part of the island basically that I think you could actually construct a runway. So it's it just kind of is what it is, and you have to deal with it as a pilot. So we're going to fly, and we're going to make left traffic. I believe that the airstrip is actually kind of on this part of the island, sort of. That's like the southern tip of the island. There is where we need to end up. So we'll kind of head ourselves out this way just a little bit. Make that left turn and come on in, and with any luck we'll stay dry. Alright, closing back in on 1500. Let's see, I think our friend Slant Alpha is getting ready to depart here pretty soon. He was installing, he's got himself some new scenery for his X-plane setup, and so he actually tried to come in here a month or so ago himself, and the freeware scenery that X-plane had that he was using, it actually didn't model that hillside, so he at the time said, I'll be back and we'll do it right, we'll do it with the hill. So he went out and found himself, I guess, some scenery. Yeah, he's on the taxi roll right now, so he'll be airborne here soon, and we can check his progress provided we stay dry. Alright, so just kind of allowing ourselves to drift a little bit north, and I probably could almost chart a due west. In fact, I think I will. We'll just kind of go west at this point, almost make this like a left-hand base leg. Roughly, anyway. And then start to see if we can pick up some visual cues. There's some fairly good-sized rocks that are what I use to line up, and yeah, we'll just kind of, as we get a little closer, it becomes pretty obvious. For as small of a runway as it is, it's really not hard to find, because it's really the only thing that's out there. And so you can, I actually almost find it easier than I do St. Bart's. St. Bart's is pretty well hidden until you're about on the last mile or so. Not doing a very good job of flying straight and level tonight. My apologies for that, but here we are up again at 1700. That's what you get when you are trying to watch Monday Night Football and fly at the same time. Alright, we'll slowly bring the power back. Again, I'd like to be around 160 if I could. And then when we start to make the turn, then I can slow down accordingly. This plane is just a joy to hand fly. Alright, so just again kind of looking, I almost feel like it's right up on that little ledge. So we will see though once we get a little closer. Alright, the four-legged co-pilots are warning me of dangerous approach. Oh, the junior first officer is getting all fired up. Not sure what he's cheering about, but he's cheering about something. You have to love the energy of a 2-year-old, no matter what time of day. Alright, so I am going to kind of make my way over to this little area. I'm going to kind of call that the target point of interest here. That's what I've aimed for in the past anyway. Yeah, it tonight, you know, he gets your blood flowing in different ways, and sometimes it's hollering at the top of his lungs for no reason, and sometimes it's for things like what happened tonight, which was I was cooking and I heard him in the living room saying, uh-oh, uh-oh. Nothing activates your quick task force response instincts faster than a 2-year-old saying uh-oh in a different room. And I've never even been in the military, but I felt like I was trained and responded appropriately. Fortunately, there was no major damage. Yeah, it's being a papa, man. It's awesome. It is so awesome. All right, so I think we will begin to head in that direction. Hello, Al South. Good to see you, sir. I hope everything is fantastic in your world, my friend. Welcome to the Caribbean, the warm waters of the South Pacific. We are on approach to Zulu Alpha Brava Alpha, the infamous short Zaba runway. Scene of my last, well, I shouldn't say my last, scene of one of my more epic flight sim failures, where I slid a King Air 200 right off the end of this postage stamp runway. I see you're also over there keeping an eye on Slant Alpha, which is good. He needs it. Just kidding. And downwind sim. Alright, now we can start the party. Downwind, you came just at the right time. This is where bad things happen for me. And I already feel like I'm not lined up correctly. That rock right there is kind of what I've been using as my alignment rock, and I feel like I'm way too far to the east here, so I'm gonna head a little bit further to the right. I do think, I'm pretty confident that's the runway. The little guy has he's taken his bath and now he's ready to party. So, alright, yep, the old alignment rock. You think I'm joking, but, well, maybe not. Oh, you know what happened? This happened to me last time, too. There'll be some late rendering because of the short range that I have set up here for scenery rendering. So I may not actually, I might be too close before that actually shows up. That's alright. This will be, well, now wait. Do I need the downwind sim binoculars here? I'm going to toss a notch of flaps in because we're getting a little slow, which is okay. I'm going to throw my gear down, and must be a P3D thing. I think you're right. It has to be. No other explanation. Alright, prop lever. And I don't know. Oh, wait a second. I may be, I see it. I'm looking at the wrong plateau. I think I'm down there. See, there's my alignment rock. Okay, so not like this was a challenging enough approach, but now I'm really making it difficult because I'm making it a short final turning type of approach. Alright, full flaps. Gear down. Alignment rock has moved. You are right. Somebody moved that sucker on me. Who would do that? And so much for the old north-south alignment, by the way, of the runway. As you can see, clearly not north-south. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, basically. There it is, though. And the good news is we don't have to nose down over a hillside to get on this runway. The bad news is if you're short, you're on the cliff. If you're long, you're in the water. So all you have to be is perfect. Oh yeah, and the terrain warning lady doesn't like this approach.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Alright, boys and girls, here we go. Getting a little bit of a crosswind here as well, which does happen from time to time. We're going to set it down nice and hard. And I don't care if I'm a little early here. Oh. Full reversers, full brakes. And no. Whoops, I don't want to exit. Caramba, as they say in this area, and I can't shut my engines off. become a float plane. I'm going to disconnect from the network. We've got to watch that again. We've got to break this down. Let's see. Last 3 minutes ought to be good. What went wrong? What's a good view here? That's not a great view. I have one from the other side? No. Might be my best view. The arrestor cables failed. I wonder if I have... I wonder if this will be a better view. I know there's no tower officially, but maybe this will give us a little bit better idea of what went so wrong. That's exactly what happened with the King Air, by the way. And I was at stall speed. So, yeah, okay, so let me catch up on the chat here. The strip is a forever compared to Dewey Moore. Yeah, you're right. Too fast. I mean, it had to be. It had to be. Well, so I just parked this one right next to the King Air, I guess. How many airframes tonight? This is the only one so far. And I've put this down in some pretty short airstrips. So I'm a little bit...
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
I just don't know.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
It might just be beyond my
pull up.
skill
Terrain
level
ahead.
at this point.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
But I know they've put down like twin otters and stuff here, so it's not something that's beyond, I wouldn't think, this plane. Because I was about 90 knots. And let's just see what the video replay says. Maybe I bounced. I hit pretty hard. Maybe I just bounced and that cost me about 20 feet. I was way long is what it was. Oh, and then it doesn't really show up. Yeah. Oh, it shows I'm down below because that's where I ended up going off. Boom. Yep. Alright, let's try that one more time. One more time. I'm only going to do the last 60 seconds here. Let's see if I can get a...
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
So I'm thinking part of my problem, or my main problem, was I just was too far down the runway. I need to put it right on the X.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
And
pull up.
Yeah, look how far down I was. I was way down. Just not enough. Just not enough time. Boom, not even close, really. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Let's go back. Might as well. Let's go back to St. Bart's. TFFJ. Let's, we'll spawn here and we'll try that again. And I'm going to try this time, instead of worrying so much about speed, I'm going to see if I can put it down right where, right on the X. There's some free stuff on X-Plane. Sweet. That's awesome, man. I need to go check out that sim, I guess. Well, if you're still here, /French, thanks, man. Al South, hang tight. I'll be back here in 40%. The replay of crash landing footage looks amazing. Oh, I should have took a screenshot of when the sparks and the smoke were coming up. All right. and try to bring this back here. Okay. So I'm loaded up, I'm ready to go, and it's wanting to head out. Okay. I'm gonna reconnect. I'm just gonna pretend that nobody saw that I actually put it in the ocean. Good thing I bought that flood insurance. Alright guys, welcome back. We are here in beautiful St. Barthélemy and getting ready to fly over to Wanchawee Restaurant Queen. It's probably why I can't do it, is that I've been jinxing myself. Yep, everybody get your... I should really do a departure brief here. Remind everybody where the life jackets are, where the raft is, how to exit the aircraft should we end up in the water. All that fun stuff. Alright, we're lining up runway 10. We're making left traffic to about 2:30. Let's just make sure everything's turned back on. Here it is. Nothing was turned off. Flaps approach. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to go flying. Spin the turbines back up. See, you could... A guy could go watch Slant Alpha and watch it done right, and that's fun and all, but I mean, come on. You want that opportunity to see the horrific plane crash, you're in the right spot. Okay, we are up. Gear coming up. Flaps coming up. Power setting for climb. Coordinated turn. Not half bad, really, for me. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to live up to the stream title. Even though this is my third attempt down here, it was not the charm. So I will have to come back and do it again. Maybe it's the order. Maybe I should fly from St. Martin to Zaba first and then to St. Bart's. Maybe it's all in the order, all in the sequence. Okay. I also know what will help though is a little bit better approach, not making that late turn like I had to. That'll help. Alright, the houses are floating. Yeah, it's interesting. A little bit of a scenery issue with some of those guys. A little bit of a Fly Tampa thing. Alright. Working through this in my brain just a little bit again, just to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. Maybe I was a little too high on the... Maybe I was higher than I thought on the approach. Need to maybe be a little bit more shallow. Play us a song on the stall warning. Alright. I think what I'd like to do is be at about 400 feet over that rock. Maybe a little bit less even. And let's see, because last time I was about 500, that was the call out. And that just might have been... I might have been carrying just a little bit too much energy. through there. The key for this plane is getting those reversers going as early as possible. Now we'll find out. We'll give it a look-see, see what's happening. And if we don't get it here, well, you know what? Sometimes that's the way it shakes out. Let me give myself just a little bit more time to line up. Keep my speed about right here. And if you guys see anything, as always, you know more about this type of stuff, so I'm definitely all ears. You guys know that. Alright, I see Rob. He's heading St. Bartholomew way. So stall speed is about, well, it's between 85 and 90. Rotation speed is 96. You know, the other thing that I have right now is I have full tanks of gas. So I mean, I'm heavy. I should probably, that would help me out a little bit as well. And I'm not going to do that right now, but you know, if a guy's only making a 20-mile trip, you don't need 5,000 pounds worth of fuel on board. That might be something. But so yeah, I always try to come in at about 90, just below. I figure I'm in the neighborhood. If I'm just below, there's rotation, I'm just below that line, I think I'm in good shape. That's the theory behind it all, but again, you kind of saw how well I executed the theoretical game plan here. That's probably why the Skylane works so well, because you're able to bring that sucker in at like 60 knots, like half the speed almost. Alright. I'm guessing you probably have to have a little bit of specialized training to even be qualified to land. Kind of like up in the Papua New Guinea Highlands there. You kind of have to have a little bit of specialized training. That's, if I'm not successful on this approach, I think that's going to be my next step, is to do just a little bit of research, because I don't think this thing is necessarily that much faster on the approach than like a Twin Otter, which is a plane that's commonly flown in here. Yeah, you might be right. We're about to find out. About to find out. All right, just out of curiosity, let's do that. Let's go. Yeah, I see. I have like, I only need about 25%, if that even. 30 some gallons. Yeah, that's, so fuel weight of 65 gallons. Now let's see if that makes a difference, since we're being theoretical anyway. Let's see what that, oh, it already feels lighter. This has just turned into the learning channel. The flight, that's what I should rename this channel, the Flight Sim Learning Channel. Say that 3 times fast. I would be your professor, the professor of how to do it wrong. Okay, so the smaller plateau, not the bigger one, smaller one. Been in here 4 times. You'd think I'd have this down by now. Nice and wide, plenty of time to make our turn and get speed right, get alignment right. We weren't exactly north-south. It was more, a little bit more like about like a 140, I think. So let's go ahead. We'll turn. We'll call this our base leg right now. You know, some pilots, they have you make a prediction of landing rate. On this stream, it's a yes or no. Simple. Place your bets right now, yes or no. You've just witnessed what's happened to me now 2 times in a row. And I actually think I was a little closer in the King Air. A firm maybe. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So you're telling me there's a chance. I like it. Delta 441. Oh man. Thought maybe for a minute we had the spy guy coming down here. Oh shoot, who's the guy that flies the 757 Spy? He's got kind of a cool channel. He flies in and out. He actually was one that I witnessed correctly land a Twin Otter at this airport. It was pretty impressive. If this doesn't work, I'm going to go back to a simple plane like the DC-8. Alright, on the base leg, left base. Airfield is in sight. There will be a link in the description below where you can send your condolences to my wife. It was a heck of a sale that Beechcraft was having. It was a year-end 0% deal, so I had to take advantage. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I shouldn't fly the old 626 November. I've got plenty of liveries here. Maybe I need to pick one of those other ones. Alright, we're at 1,400. Coming around. Looking a little bit better here, alignment wise. Starting to pull the power back. Oh, a little bit of a freeze, a little bit of a pause. Okay, we're good, we're good. A little too far. Yep, need to come back around here. Okay, there's 1,000. Again, I'm shooting for 400 at the rock. Need to get to flap speed here though.
Terrain ahead. Terrain.
Okay, that's on cue. There's flaps 1.
500.
There's 500. Okay.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain
Gear down.
Ahead. pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Don't want to get too slow
Terrain
here.
ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead.
I'm a little bit
Pull
lower.
up.
I'm more like 300 now,
Terrain
so
ahead. Pull up.
I think I may be
Terrain
over
ahead.
corrected.
Pull up. Terrain
Final
ahead.
notch of
Pull up.
flaps.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
I'm going to shoot for about,
Terrain ahead.
I'm
Pull
going to
up.
try to get
Terrain
down to about
ahead.
85 this time.
Terrain
Yeah,
ahead.
again, I'm a
Pull
little
up.
too close to the
Terrain ahead. Pull
coastline
up.
here.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Okay, I'm at 400 right now.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Power back.
Terrain ahead.
Boy, I'm a lot
Terrain
faster
ahead.
this time,
Pull
guys.
up.
This is already
Terrain
not looking
ahead.
good. Here's a better speed. We're 80. I still have pretty good control here at 80. Hard touchdown. Full brakes. All right. Well, so a couple things there, I think. Number one, I think fuel and overall weight played a big factor. I think I was still probably, even at 85, I think I was still about 5, maybe even 10 knots fast. And I think I hit my mark a little bit better this time. Yeah, suspension needs, it was a hard one, but that's, I do know that much. That's kind of the intended type of approach. You want a good firm touchdown here, but all right. Let's get off to the side here. Let's park. We're going to disconnect, and we're going to watch that one more time here. Alright, instant replay. Nope, got to go back further than that. Instant replay. Go back 2 minutes.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Do a little both here.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. 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 Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Boom. So
Terrain
I was
ahead.
actually down.
Pull up.
Yeah.
Terrain ahead.
That was not a pretty initial touchdown, and I'm way over here on the right hand side, but yeah, nose wheel came down first, which is also not good. Well, okay. I gotta close this window. Tower close. How do I close that? You can tell I don't do replay very often. Now I might be in a little bit of trouble here. This sometimes happens. Oh yeah, well, so I am locked up a little bit here, guys. So let's try one last thing here. Replay. Oh, darn it. This is what happened to me last time. I can look around and change my views, but I can't. None of this stuff is functional, and I also don't have my controls there. So Okay, so one last little change here. So let's go. We are going to go and we're just going to respawn here and see if that helps us. And wow, this. I must not be in the right run. Right. I want to be Zaba. Am I in the right spot here? TNCS. There's no way that there's that many. That's where I want to be, right down there. Oh, TN. It's putting me at TN. It's trying to put me at Princess Juliana. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can't spawn there. Sometimes you'll get that. Oh, there we go. All right. Only gives me active runway. Sorry, guys. I am not connected to VATSIM just yet, but I will reconnect. And I do want to go ahead and make this last leg back up to Princess Juliana anyway. So, how about we do this while I'm loading up? Let's see where our buddy Slan Alpha is and see how his flight's going.
On the Citation, which of course, those are the only 3 planes I really fly in X-planes. So. Yeah, so going back to your guys' more recent messages, yeah, so both of you are saying it takes a bit to get used to. Yeah, I certainly wasn't comfortable with it. Maybe I would be after a time, but I just also feel like, you guys don't want to be seeing, this all the time. So. So, I leave it at that.
I figured he was going to say you guys don't always want to see guys crashing all the time. So
sim racing, dazing. So what dazing? If you don't mind tell us.
Here's where he, by the way, is
at.
at.
iRacing for.
He started down there at
iRacing.com.
wherever that is, Fort de France.
If you.
And he's heading up here to St. Barthélemy. We are spawning kind of right here. And I think what we're going to do is head back up to Princess Juliana. Alright, well, I don't know if I'm...
So, iRacing.com.
Yep, okay, I'm loaded back up, kind of. Oh, yeah.
About a year to a year and a half.
This is the problem. Alright, this is the problem.
Took kind of a...
Yep, here we go.
Flight simming. And did iRacing for a little while.
Actually, it's a little bit of a blessing in disguise. As you can see, we've got some issues.
Says,
so up there is where the scenery really is.
I don't know what others' opinion of it is.
And down here is where the default scenery is. So it doesn't matter because we're frozen. So here's what we're going to do. Guys, I think I'm going to call it good for my stream tonight. And let me just take a quick second here, and we will go ahead. We might as well close it out with a little bit of music. Let me tell you what's coming up on the stream later on this week, because this ought to be kind of fun. So on Wednesday, I believe it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it was wild, but the problem is...
Yeah, Wednesday, coming up here in 2 days, the Seattle Virtual ARTCC is hosting an event, and so I actually have a little bit of a route for the de Havilland Beaver setup, and I'm going to be flying really a bunch of uncontrolled airfields, and we're going to just see if we can hit about 4 or 5 of them. We're going to start at Holmgren, which is just a little bit basically west of Bowerman, whatever you want to call it. A little bit west of Seattle. We're gonna fly in. We're gonna hit a couple of spots on Vashon Island, and then we're gonna head up to Allen Island, and then hopefully we're gonna end up at Wax well, we might hit Wax Orchard, but I don't know. There's 4 or 5 that are kind of fun. I'm looking right now for the route, and I'm having a hard time multitasking, but it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. I love the stuff that those guys do up there in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, let's see. There we go. All right, so if you want to tune in and watch, or if you want to join, here's where we're flying. So Bowerman to Wax Orchard, then to Vashon Municipal, then we're going to go to Allen Island, then we're going to head to West Wind, and there are near West Wind, there's a couple of little farm strips that are kind of fun. And so anyway, yeah, like I say, 5 or 6 total airstrips if you count Bowerman, but should be fun. And again, if you have a DHC Beaver or any kind of a small, light kind of STOL related aircraft, this will be a fun route for you. You do need a little bit of Orbic scenery if you're going to do this, and I don't know, X-Plane folks, if there's an equivalent for any of this, but every single one of these airports I'm flying into Wednesday, it was all freeware stuff from Orbic, so there may be an equivalent there, or there may even be just a default one that you can fly into and out of. But yeah, it would be fun to have. I mean, it's been a while downwind, hasn't it, that we've done any kind of a route together and got the tires dirty. So maybe you can come along and talk Al South, and who knows, maybe even some of our other friends can come along. Slash French, you're welcome to join us. It'd be pretty cool to have you. But that's Wednesday, again, midnight Zulu, about 8 o'clock Eastern time in the United States. And then let's see what else. I shouldn't leave out. Well, Saturday we've got. I'm going to be traveling. I've got a birthday party I'm attending out of town. And then Monday next week, of course, no stream. The audio for VATSIM switchover is going on Sunday and Monday, so I will be taking a day off there. And then next Wednesday, I'm going to actually move my regularly scheduled Wednesday flight to Thursday because there's a Boston virtual event going on up there, so we'll be in the Captain Sim 737-200. We're going to be going between Philadelphia and Boston for that regional circuit. And then Saturday, I'm going to go down to SoCal. I'm going to be in the Cessna 182, and we're going to try to really put that voice Unicom to the test. They've got a specific event scheduled. Again, not this coming Saturday, but Saturday the 18th, and that's what it's for. They want all of those uncontrolled airports. They want us to give them the once-over, and so I'll be there, and I hope you guys will too. So appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you putting up with me and another bad landing and another crash and all that good stuff. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's still a fun thing to do. It's fun to hang out with you guys. Thanks so much. And let's see, that's about it for me. So have an awesome evening, you guys. And until next time, I'll be looking for you on the TCAS. Take care. God bless.
DCS does competitions. Says Trax 360. Trax 360, I appreciate you being here. I don't know that I've seen you here on stream before, but